Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Misadventures. It is another beautiful day in Lorehaven, and today's the day where we're going to be expanding on the area by starting on the town. So when building this tower, I'd originally wanted to build Lorehaven kind of behind the tower. And don't get me wrong, this spot is still really nice. However, as I've been spending a lot more time around here, I've been walking alongside this river a lot, especially to check out how the tower looks from further away. And that kind of got me to thinking, what if I built the town of Lorehaven in this area instead? And hear me out, I've got a couple of thoughts behind this. That way it's next to a beautiful winding river, the tower's still a ways away but still in sight, and I feel like there's a bit more of a chance for people to spot it alongside the riverside, since most people are traveling from Maryport, which is in that direction anyway. So there's slight changes here over in Lorehaven, but I feel like this is the perfect spot for our town. Plus, looking at it on a map, I don't know, it just kind of makes sense. Like, picture a nice winding road along this river that would eventually connect to a town over on this peninsula. Feel like that could be really picturesque. But before we get started on that project today, I need to put in a land claim so I can actually purchase this land. So in the meantime, while the land gets ready to be purchased, we have a lot of other stuff we need to work on. Like, roads. I need to begin building some roads. Yeah, I say we head back towards my main base so I can grab my materials for the road building. And as I was getting ready to lay down some paths, Cam Bam stopped by to say hello. Hello? Is this...
Hey man, sorry.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing, I just saw, I felt safe just all of a sudden in here.
Yeah, like, it's pretty, you know, like, I got the steel toe boots, I've got the hard hat, like, safety is radiating from me right now.
It is, it really is. Like, I can tell that all of your barrels and chests are all up to code, like, it feels perfect.
There's
like,
no reason for you to look at any of these barrels and chests. There's literally no reason for you to. I can absolutely tell you with certainty. Nope, it's okay. I can tell you with certainty that everything is up to code here.
There's a new little building that's been, you know, built here.
Ooh, what is this cozy little cottage?
This is property of Brother Dying, aka me, and I'm opening the Petal and Vine, a plant shop.
What is Brother Dying?
It's because I die a lot and I'm in the cult, not cult.
Wait, you're in the cult now?
Not cult.
Not cult.
I've always been in the cult. I just never built anything over here, and I just, like, yeah, I am part of the cult. I've always have been. Well, anyway, the Petal and Vine is a lovely new flower and nature and sapling and nature shop.
Okay.
That's being opened soon, and there's gonna be, like, all sorts of things in here. We're gonna get locally sourced produce from Whip Family Farms. We're gonna get, like, locally sourced leaves, like this sample here, you know, freshly snipped. We're gonna get that, which is gonna be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
And yeah, there's just gonna be flowers. Every kind of flower that you could ever want is gonna be sold in the Petal and Vine flower shop.
Sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to this opening up. And as Cam and I were hanging out in his shop, Matt swung by so he could bring me over to his ranch. If I want to actually be able to build a road on his plot of land, then he has to give me permission. Also, I just want to point out how gorgeous this POI is. It's not fully turned over to the devs yet, so I don't want to spoil too many things and go into too much detail about it, but we'll have to come back here once it's fully done. So once I was given access, I got to work on the road, and Avid joined shortly after. There you are.
Over for you.
Hi, I was just coming to meet you at the crypt because I was like, I don't even know if you know where Matt's ranch is.
I kind of had an idea, but no, I really was lost.
Okay,
lost.
perfect. It's just over here. Okay, so I kind of started working backwards because it kind of made the most sense, especially because we have to clear off a bunch of trees closer to the crypt. So yeah. I'll show you what I've like laid out, what makes the most sense for like a road, I guess. Because we wanted to, yeah, we wanted to wind, right?
The road's most aesthetic.
Aesthetic.
It's not the road's most...
The most... Where's your piece of paper? I don't remember what it is.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I lost that. I mean, I'll have to write a new one.
The good news is that I did fix up, like, Matt's area. So basically what he wanted was he wanted the mud running through his base, but he wanted this to be pathing. So he wanted a bit of a mix. So this path, I started...
Oh, my gosh. You've done so much.
Really? I feel like I've been working really slow.
So show me what you got here, yeah.
I don't have anything going here yet because I know it has to connect to Cam's base, but I don't know exactly where Cam's base is.
Oh, is it all the way this way?
I think it is. if I look at the map, I do have a chunk missing, but I see like a clipping of a house off this way.
Okay, so you're saying Cam's house is over this way?
I think it is.
I'm just climbing this mountain with my billy goat.
I mean, as you should, you know? Okay, there's a grave here. This is a good sign. I found a grave.
It's a grave. Somehow that's a good sign.
I found it. It's on the western side of the mountain.
Never eat
shredded wheat.
Waffles.
What's yours again? What did you say?
Soggy waffles.
No, it's never eat shredded wheat.
I just feel like I like shredded wheat. So
I do too, but that's how I learned
nobody
it.
likes soggy waffles. Oh, I found the grave. Okay, I'm following your track. Oh, I found some. Okay, this is looking very. Wow, he is preparing for a lot of books. Camp
you know
shack.
What? That does make sense. Did he call this a shack?
He did.
This is a mansion.
Oh, look at the Tudor style he's got going on.
I know, it's so beautiful. Can I snoop? Oh wait, no, the door's closed. Oh, Cam, how could you?
There's got to be a way in.
There's got to be a way in.
You can't keep us out. Also,
No.
there's a hole in the whole house.
Oh, there is definitely a
I
hole.
think this might be our way in.
I'm in. There's
Wow,
just
was
seeds on the
amazing.
ground here. What is happening?
You cracked the code.
Yep.
Jeez. Okay, watch this. Ready? I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a 720 off of this balcony. Are you ready?
All right, let's see it, Tony Hawk.
Whoa! Yeah!
That was sick. Okay, wanna see me do a 720 melon?
Yeah. Oh, sick. Okay, a melon.
I think I did like a 1080
Whoa!
instead.
I think you did. And where are the melons?
I crouched. Didn't you see it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you see the little,
right.
the melon?
Okay, that's the melon. Gotcha.
Come on. It's a legit skateboarding trick.
Well, okay, so this is a far way to bring a road. My suggestion is, what if we went from the crypt to Matt? At least that's something that will, like, get a lot of traffic. Cam will use it. Matt will use it. People will see it.
Yeah, I feel like phase 1 should be Matt and Crypt together.
Matt and Crypt.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And then phase 2 will be Cam's.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sounds good.
I kind of started like carving out a little bit of the path this way. If you want to like fill some of it in while I like carve stuff out, we can do that, or vice versa.
Whoa!
Oh my god, are you okay? This is our first workplace accident. Are you
Drift.
okay? Oh my god.
Why did you build over a lake?
I did it! It wasn't me! Here.
This wasn't you.
No, it wasn't.
This wasn't you.
It wasn't
Don't use
me.
the expensive stuff. I can get out.
Hold on.
I can't place things, can I? No, I can't.
Oh no.
Drift.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'll get you out of there. Here, move to the side of it. I'll get you out. Okay, there. Can you hop on that? Is that possible?
I can't hop on that.
Do you want me to come down there with you?
Wait, no.
Okay, you got it. Oh my gosh. You almost died. See, this is why you need your safety wear. And boy, oh boy, did Avid ever take that suggestion to heart. Because a couple days after our first workplace incident, Avid told me to meet him at Shelby's tailoring shop to take a look at the new fit he ordered from her. So I'm sure he's all geared up in all the proper safety attire like I am and ready for the job.
Hello.
Oh, what is this?
Behold.
What is this? Hold on a second. Let me get a close look at that. You? My friend? Turn around? Yep. You look stunning.
Do I? Really?
Wow.
Really?
Wow. Those shorts are so short, the pockets are hanging out.
Yeah. Yes, you noticed.
That's how you know they're short enough.
That's how you know they're short. That's the only kind of short. Wow. Definitely a little bit different than the look I was going for.
Really?
For road building, I can't help but to feel a little bit uncool now.
I mean, you can always, if you want to commission some short shorts, you can always let your thighs out too, but I feel like it's best when we let the men do that.
You're so right. Avid's putting on a show while we're road building, you know?
That's what I'm thinking. And
You're
in
gonna
fact,
be too distracted.
This is safer than my old outfit because the old outfit didn't have boots, and now look at these. Look at these things.
I was complaining about your lack of steel toe boots. So you are, you know what? This definitely gets the safety clearance. You're highly visible. You're protecting your noggin, even though there's nothing in there, but...
Nothing. Not a thing. Nope.
No, I checked when I was making the skin. It's empty.
It's so empty. Like, it's concerning, right?
All right, let me look inside your noggins, huh?
Okay,
no,
Back off.
That's private. That's my safety zone, okay?
Okay, yeah, I gotcha. That's your mind palace.
Yeah, that's my mind palace.
Well, I would highly
on
recommend
pencil
Shelby is a phenomenal skin designer, and her service of 10,000 cheap, 10,000 coins, super
Well,
cheap.
that's so funny because I would like to commission something from you.
I've heard. I think that we
Yeah.
need to have a cult meet. Are you in the cult? The not cult? The
No, he's like desperate to get in the cult.
No.
He's
I'm
desperate to,
not.
yeah, he's desperate
No,
to get in the
I'm
cult. Yeah,
not.
you are.
Oh, okay. That's why the buns are out. You
Are
hope
the
that would
buns
get
out?
you in.
Let me take a quick look. Buns are in. Buns
Yeah, the
are
buns,
in,
the
everybody.
buns are definitely in.
I had to draw a line somewhere. Yeah, but we do need to have a discussion about what kind of colors we want to have on our group club robes.
Yes, group club. It's like just a casual book club, you know? We're just discussing stuff. It's not like a cult or anything.
No, and I bet Sausage is working on a book for us all to read. If it became a cult, we
Yeah,
would.
if it did, perchance become a
Then,
cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will accept their business though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's time for us to all kind of have like a little bit of a uniform. Not that it's a cult or anything, but we want to be
They
able
don't
to
have match
like,
perfect.
yeah, we want to be able to just like, you know, spot each other from a distance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Every day.
nice to have uniformity.
You guys inch closer towards being a cult. Uniform is another step in the direction.
No.
No, a
this
uniform's
is
like
just
work
like,
clothing, you know?
Yeah, this is more like bridesmaids dresses where they're gonna be like similar in color, but different styles because it's just a group activity.
Right.
Exactly.
With
Where the
a
bride
similar
is
outfit.
the cult and the groom is all of you getting married to the cult being in a cult.
Like, not exactly. That's a really interesting analogy, but no, not quite.
Okay.
No,
all right.
no, yeah.
You know what?
No,
I'll stay out of
not at
this.
all.
I'm not, I'm not really my place, right? So
Don't
I'll
lie
just
like
let-
you don't want in this.
Yeah, you have been begging to be thrown into the pit.
I did get thrown to the pit, and I killed Cam so many times, and maybe one day.
So I am back here over at Lornhaven, where I've just been puttering away with my inventory and such, and pretty much getting ready for our next project. But before we get into that big project for the day, there's a couple things I need to fill you all in on. So the last stream I did, I was busy working away, and I managed to get all of my diamond gear enchanted, along with all my tools. And of course, since these are such big upgrades, I feel like I have a little bit of explaining to do. And our tale begins here in the slime dungeon. Actually, wait, no, it doesn't. It actually begins in the resource world. So this grand tale actually begins out at sea. Except, actually, this is kind of more of a lake and not a sea. I searched around for a while and I couldn't find an ocean, but you get the point. So basically, the other day, I really needed levels to repair my tools. And one of the ways to get XP on Misadventures, which I kind of forgot about, is feeding the rats in the sewers. And of course, one of the easiest ways to feed the rats that we know of is to use mutton. But I wasn't really a fan of ruining my rep with dear old Molly. But there's a solution for this. People in chat suggested feeding the rats dried kelp, because a lot of them had seen pigs do this, and it's a great solution because it's easy to gather up and cook. And boy oh boy, let me tell ya, this method does rock. Allow me to demonstrate with my copious amounts of kelp that I have. Also, I don't even know if I showed this in a video yet, but yeah, this is my storage room I built out. So, yeah, I got to cooking up a bunch of kelp in these smokers. Not only do I get a nice little amount of XP from cooking the kelp, but I can also easily transport this to the sewers. So if we make a little trip into these sewers, and if we find where our little rat friends are hiding, then we just feed them their favorite snack in the world, and look at the amount of XP you get from this. And honestly, I'm sure this has probably been a known thing for a while, but for me, this is game-changing. I honestly didn't consider to feed the rats just for XP. It's genius, I tell ya. So not only was I able to repair all of my tools of mending, but as you can see, I am able to grab a ton of XP. And that allowed me to enchant all of my gear. So now I've got all of these OP tools thanks to these rats. And thanks to me and Pixel Rifts, they have a lifetime supply of kelp. Honestly, what more could you ask for? So that's one of the things I've been up to in between episodes. And back once more from a little detour, but I think our land over here is now ready to be purchased. Yes, okay, so it popped up over here, and the beginnings of Lornhaven is now in this area. So now all we have to do is land purchase, and that's it! This spot is now dedicated to the town of Lornhaven. So that means we can get started on everything that's going to be accompanying this tower. So, as I had mentioned before, I want magic to be a thing that is now forgotten and long in the past. But there's still signs and indicators that it still has a presence in this village, even if the townfolk are unaware. So although none of the people in the town actually use magic, it still exists in mysterious ways around here that feel normal to them because that's all they know. So the Wizard Tower, for example. That's a structure that's long been abandoned by a magician who's lived in the village long ago. And the idea behind it is that although it hasn't been inhabited for quite some time, it still strangely has an appearance that is not totally decayed and destroyed. And the idea behind it is that that's because there's some type of magic that's still keeping it in good shape. And although that could seem a little bit strange to people outside of this town, most here have probably never questioned it too much because they're so used to seeing these occurrences. So now that we've got a bit of a refresher on the story of this town, I think it's time we can finally start building it up. And I was kind of thinking that the best way to start things off would be to build a farm that's on the outskirts of town that leads from the Wizard Tower. That way we have an established border early on. Since Lornhaven is going to be closer to a village than a town, I pictured the farm to be a little bit smaller. So I think this patch of land is going to be perfect for it. So let's just flatten some of this for a little bit more space. And I feel like this is enough room for a small farm. Now I'm trying my best to avoid chopping down too many trees, because I want to keep this area as natural as possible. If we have to get rid of any others while building, that's totally okay. But I think I'd like to avoid doing so unless I really have to. So with this spot all picked out for the farm, I now need materials. And I already have a little bit of a build palette in mind. So let's head back over to the storage room at my house and see what we've got. Now, if we're talking palette for a farmhouse, I want this thing to look a little bit more old and rustic. So I was actually kind of thinking that maybe we could use mud. Now the great news is I have tons and tons of mud. The bad news is I need more wheat to turn this mud into packed mud. So let's make some more packed mud, and here's to hoping that's enough. Then maybe if we incorporate some more spruce, maybe a little bit of oak, and honestly even some tuff. I think that would be a good combo. Alrighty, I've got all of my materials ready to go, and I think I'm ready to begin building this thing. So let's start off by laying down a footprint. I'm gonna go with tuff for the foundation of this house to make it look a little bit more weathered. And next up we need some beams, which I'm gonna use a combo of stripped spruce with some oak for some nice added texture. And we just gotta fill in the walls, and then we can begin laying down this roof. So I'm using a mixture of mud and jungle wood to give more of an older feel to it. I want the jungle to look like patches of roof they've had to repair over time. I feel like little details like that help give a little bit more life and story to these builds. So after building up the structure of the house, I puttered away on adding decorative details to it. Alrighty, and our little quaint farmhouse is all done. And I'm really happy with how this one turned out. It's a small little build, but I actually managed to get quite a bit of detail in it. So I wanted this thing to look really old and weathered, like it's been here for a long time and has been passed down for many generations. So on the outside, we have a nice little path that leads up to the farmhouse with a little wheat field at the front of the house. Now, eventually, I think I would like to expand the farmland a little bit. Like, I would love to have a little fishing spot right here and maybe expand the field this way as well. However, I didn't want to commit to that just yet, just in case I have some other ideas for the town layout instead. I figured we could go in and fill in some extra details later. So for now, I kept it contained to this one spot. Also, I am so happy that I ended up keeping as many trees as I could because I love how the farmhouse is framed in between them. It definitely helps make it feel like this is more built into the landscape. So we've seen the outside of this build, now let's check out the inside. So I ended up fully decorating this house because eventually I want an NPC to live in here. I'm not 100% sure what I want the NPC to do here. I was kind of thinking maybe they could sell something or give players a quest to complete. I do, however, want them to give some context to Lornhaven when you speak to them though. Since they're going to be farmers who have been here for generations, I feel like they've got a little bit of insight on some of the magic that goes on around here, whether they realize it or not. But yeah, this is a pretty small space, however, I tried to make it cute and cozy. So we've got a little fireplace here, a kitchen area, a spot for some storage, and then upstairs we've got a little bed here, and another fire to keep them warm at night. So yeah, it's all done and decorated, and we just have to keep building up Lornhaven so we can eventually get our NPC in here. Now, as I had mentioned, I do want the residents of Lornhaven to observe little magical occurrences, even if they don't think much of it. Maybe our farmer can give insight to old wives' tales, or maybe this farm could even possess some magical qualities itself. So for example, the crops could grow mysteriously fast, or maybe they could even wield unusually large crops. But if any of you have any fun suggestions for magic that could affect the farm, definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to hear some of the ideas that you all have. So with our first build in the town of Lornhaven all complete, I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. I'm so excited we have gotten this project underway. Ah! Oh!
My God, you live so far out. Hello.
I am so far out. That scared me so bad. I was just filming my intro and you zoomed out of nowhere.
I'm doing like around the world in an episode, so I'm going all the way around, and I've ran like all the way to the west and all the way down the south coast and east, and I was just ripping around and I was seeing different people's areas and being like, oh, that's for JoJo's eyes, and I don't know whose this thing is. I came over here and was like, what's this? And you're just there.
And I'm just standing here like this, just planked.
Yeah. You're just like, okay, this is where drift goes, like turns off.
Yeah,
you're
this
like
is where I go sentient.
You're like that scene from One Division where you're too far away that you don't render in enough to move. You just stand there.
Yeah, I'm basically in my off time. I'm just an NPC. I'm just standing there waiting for somebody to talk to me.
Someone to come and be like, "Do you need any help?"
Yeah.
Well, I will let you get back to your intro. I'm going to go back to my explore. That was the hilarious timing of all people's bases to come across and for you to be online as well. Wow.
No, that was perfect. Like you're so right. I'm so far out. That was great. Thank you so much for that.
Honestly, you're not the furthest out. I've discovered a few today where I'm like, whose is this? Like,
really? I'm gonna have to go exploring now.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a lot of, I keep calling them the whiskey waters because you get nausea and forbidden land text when you get in the water, so.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Well, good luck on your adventures.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one. Wow, that genuinely scared me so bad. I was not expecting anybody to come this way. Oh boy, that actually gave me a fright. Well, with that, I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's shenanigans. And let me know in the comments what you think of the beginnings of this town. I am so looking forward to building this place up, and I can't wait to continue working on it. And of course, don't forget, like and subscribe. All right, everyone, I'll see you later. Goodbye, goodbye.